as well as not having to play 2 best-of-3s today, already having that playoff spot secured. That's something that, you know, and another couple of games we have on today don't have you know,
same luxury.
the honesty of the luxury.
Yeah. Let's talk ENCE as well. Now, again, obviously the big talking point around this team at the moment is that Snax is standing in for them, and we came in on day one and we thought, you know, team playing with a stand-in, that's never really going to go well. We've seen for the teams that have had a stand-in outside of ENCE, they've all been knocked out, right? NIP got knocked out a little bit earlier. MIBR just got knocked out as well. So ENCE kind of seems to be the diamond in the rough when it comes to that. Obviously, Snax has sort of slotted into this roster and looked pretty good, and I actually have to say, based on the way ENCE has been going about things, they're almost looking like they could be a grand finalist.
Yeah, so I think they've done a pretty heads-up thing in terms of the approach of slotting him into the team, where Snax can kind of go into a role that he's already somewhat comfortable with, somewhat familiar with, just playing a little bit more of a lurk position, and that's already what Sphinx was bringing to the team. Make no mistake, like, Snax is definitely not bringing as much firepower as Sphinx. That man looks like he might be one of the best riflers in the world. Like, he's so consistent, late, especially in the major, in the last little bit. Like, he's been by far and away the best player on ENCE, but the whole structure of the rest of the team is there. Obviously, they have that Polish core of players, which really helps out. These players are relatively familiar with each other, so that's helping sort of bed him in and stuff. What?
Polish bias.
Yeah, Polish bias coming in. Yeah, I know. I'm Polish. I'm the least Polish person ever that's Polish. So there you go. I've never been to Poland. I know almost nothing about Poland, but I'm Polish somehow. I don't know how that works. You've been to Poland. You're not even Polish. I haven't been to Poland.
Guess that makes me Polish then.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, look, Mac, what do you have to say about ENCE, a team that's been progressing quite nicely here? Last few months, so you put 2 and 2 together there and you think it looks pretty good.
I'd say you're correct. You know, 100% win rate's hard to beat. Who else had the 100% win rate in this tournament? Was it?
Mouse had 100% on Ancient, and I think they actually maintained that because they didn't play Ancient in their loss. If I remember correctly.
They did, but they won.
Right.
They won that map.
There you go.
Yes, there you go. Anyway, look, that's besides the fact neither of these teams are here. FAZE, 2 maps in the 3-map pool. 100% win rate. It's looking pretty good for him. Now, ENCE, the question is, what can they do on a map like Ancient, on a map like Nuke to stop?
Option, but their Nuke is actually in shambles.
Ekipa ENCE miała troszkę trudniejszą drabinkę za sprawą G2, ale może ja żyję jeszcze w takich czasach, gdzie ja cały czas uważam ekipę G2 jako ekipę taką topową, która zawsze powinna walczyć, powiedzmy, o minimum top 4 danego turnieju. Wiemy, że G2 ma te swoje problemy, także pytanie, czy aby na pewno cały czas takiego będzie sobie radzić lepiej, bo nie bez powodu o nich mówię. Oni też o tej godzinie, o godzinie 21:30 rozpoczynają swój mecz o życie przeciwko drużynie Vitality. Także wiemy, że FAZE i ENCE na pewno są w playoffach, ale tylko jedna ekipa z meczu G2 kontra Vitality awansuje dalej, więc na pewno na bieżąco będziemy o tym wyniku mówić.
Absolutnie tak, a w kontekście meczu ENCE kontra FAZE stawka, tak jak mówisz, nie tyle wejście do playoffów, o ile samo usadowienie w fazie pucharowej. Zwycięzca tego spotkania, zarazem zwycięzca grupy, będzie rozpoczynał fazę pucharową od meczu półfinałowego. Przegrany będzie drużyną numer 2. W grupie dostanie trochę lepszy seeding, bo zmierzy się z 3. drużyną grupy B, ale zobaczymy, jak to będzie wyglądało, kto faktycznie gdzie zostanie umiejscowiony. Zacząłeś mówić o formacji G2, ja myślę, że to nie jest tak, że ty jeszcze żyjesz w czasach, gdzie G2 potrafiło, musiało wręcz walczyć o wszystkie trofea i było stawiane w roli faworyta w każdym turnieju, bo po tej przegranej z ENCE 0-2, co prawda dwukrotnie do 14 na mapach, ale myślę szczególnie mapa DAS2, która też była zakończona wynikiem 16-14, styl, w jakim ta końcówka spotkania była rozgrywana, samo to, że G2 przegrywa 0-2, mając ten skład, który ma walczyć o puchary, mając ten skład, który w 2022 roku miał zamieść całą scenę, trochę mam wrażenie, oczekiwania były podobne co do G2, jak to, co robi w tym momencie FAZE, czyli wszystkie ważne turnieje są wygrywane, a przynajmniej są w nich daleko. Po G2 jeszcze tego nie widzimy. Dużo jadu wylało się chociażby na Twitterze. Tam było widać dużo komentarzy z takiej zagranicznej sceny, że G2 po prostu nie działa. Jaki jest z nimi problem? Co jest nie tak? Jak temu zaradzić? ENCE tego problemu na razie nie ma, bo jak widać nawet ze zmiennikiem radzą sobie świetnie i myślę, że o samym Snaxie i o ENCE ze Snaxem będziemy jeszcze na przestrzeni tego meczu mówić, ale teraz pora zacząć spotkanie FAZE kontra ENCE na mapie Mirage.
Tak jest, rozpoczynamy spotkanie i jestem ciekaw, jak to wszystko będzie wyglądało. No ENCE w ataku, też pytanie, jakie Snax będzie miał tutaj opcje, jeżeli chodzi o znalezienie przestrzeni dla siebie i czy będzie miał tej okazję często te sytuacje domykać. Na razie jednak pierwsza wymiana, no i widzimy, że FAZE radzi sobie zdecydowanie lepiej, szybkie heady, no i twist, który jeszcze pozwala sobie na dodatkowe wychylenie.
Ale bardzo, bardzo zdecydowanie wkracza w to spotkanie FAZE bez jakiejkolwiek straty. No i z pieniędzmi po stronie bardzo groźnych zawodników, bo teraz Broki kończy rundę 2 eliminacjami. On będzie mógł szukać tutaj snajperki, ale to jest na pewno taki zimny prysznic dla ekipy ENCE. Mieli swój plan, mieli swój pomysł, ale zarówno prezencja na środku, jak i potem już to rozpaczliwe wejście apartamentami pod bombsite B, to zostało bardzo szybko zneutralizowane. No nie chcesz widzieć takiej rundy, gdzie wchodzisz w naprawdę bardzo ważne spotkanie, jesteś na swojej mapie, a w rundzie pistoletowej nie robisz zupełnie nic.
No ale to ciekawe, ENCE od razu decyduje się na rozegranie Force'a. Tutaj proszę, ile obrażeń, no ale szkoda, że nie było komu przyłączyć się do Madena. Wtedy wydaje się, że szansa na eliminację byłaby przeogromna, no ale jednak ENCE tworzy tylko na tym midzie zamieszanie. Oni chcą atakować pod Karigana, no, który w pistoletówce jeszcze się nie rozgrzał, ale teraz jest dla niego okazja, chociaż 1 za 1 to może być troszkę za mało, no ale ten dystans dla Twista, M4 w tym miejscu daje kolosalną przewagę, ale Snax dość sprytnie stara się ten dystans skrócić. Zobaczymy, czy będzie jakimś zaskoczeniem dla oponenta.
O, na razie faktycznie Kanadyjczyk naszego zawodnika się nie spodziewa, choć wydaje się, że gracz tej klasy powinien sprawdzić pozycję z automatu. Tego nie ma, Snax zdobywa eliminację, niestety ta broń upada troszkę za daleko, ale Snax dzięki temu zbiera się na odwagę, wychyla od Edwarda, zdobywa jeszcze jedną eliminację, teraz wszystko w rękach Hadesa, trudna runda, by jeszcze cokolwiek tutaj zdziałać, ale tak czy inaczej, nasi zawodnicy zrobili sporo, udało się podłożyć bombę, 2 eliminacje od Snaxa, no on w tym wypadku był tym highlightem po stronie ENCE, bo każda z nich, każdy z tych fragów, w ogóle pomysł na to, żeby zjawić się przy Edwardzie na galerii.
Can he pull it out in a game like this?
Madden already starting well. Molotov straight on in, but the smoke should put that out, and Madden gets back to safety. Snax gets deleted by Rops, and Rain is also there to help with the defense on the A bomb site. First gun round, it feels a bit wishy-washy at the moment, but you'd have to say it's leaning towards FAZE. Rain in a good spot, but can't land the shots. And Dychą, again, standing up tall.
It's so awkward for ENCE in this round. 1:20 on the clock, and the bomb's all the way back in ramp side. Dychą is going to go pick himself up an AK and go retrieve that as Snappy gets himself wedged into a very important position up here in jungle. Karrigan does spot him. That is an absolute laser beam on the MP9. Bloody hell.
Tougher task now, 2-on-1. Karrigan with an MP9 only, but Dychą is already tagged down to 48 HP, so it might as well be a laser beam. He's really searching for that bomb plan, isn't he? And he can't get it. Karrigan, he doesn't want a bar of it, goes hurrying away out of jungle, and it'll be the job of Brokey to finish the round in the end.
Would have been great to get that bomb plant. Maybe you could even chuck another buy together for ENCE if you were thinking about it. You're keeping a lot of economic pressure on the CT side, but they're just not able to capitalize and finally get that round across. So, yeah, I like this call from ENCE. Little bit of a half buy. Can continue trying to keep that economic pressure on FaZe Clan's economy. Give yourself that reset window later on as you move in towards the full loss bonus. See if ENCE can try and take, 2 guns here. They'll be happy with that, and they can start moving along on their gun rounds from there.
Rops looking to take that challenge early on in the piece, and I think there's a little bit too much there for him to deal with. Multiple players swinging at the same time from different angles. It ultimately does fall to Twists to salvage. And you know what I like about this game so far, even though it's 3-0 for FaZe, and it'll probably end up being 4-0, is that ENCE are kind of keeping them honest. You know, they're really bringing out a bag of tricks in every single round. Individuals are stepping up. They're making it interesting. They're keeping FaZe thinking. And you just get the sense that at any moment, ENCE could strike. And from there, they might start to run away with a few rounds.
Well, this is what I was saying. Snappy is such a fantastic caller that all of this economic pressure that they put on, they just need to win one gun round. That's it. And they've already made great use of that full loss bonus, getting a fantastic buy-in here. So one gun round one will reset half of these players on FaZe. They probably will have to take a single save from there. This is 2-3 split. ENCE looking to take mid control and maybe convert that into a bit of an A split, but Rops is going to strike from underpass first. Hades looking to try to trade that frag back, but great flash coverage across mid from Rain. That's a two-man advantage for FaZe now.
Yeah, and this is going to be the first round, really, that looks like it'll be a commanding win for FaZe. I suppose outside of the pistol, but when we're taking into account the gun rounds, of course.
That's exactly what they needed, right? You know, they've been having guns taken out of their hands the last couple of rounds in a row, but a really clean gun round win here would really start to take away that storyline or that reset window from ENCE, that they can start to get a foothold back in this half, because when you get slapped in a gun round like this and potentially you're going to be back on the half bar without the plant next round, that's where FaZe can really start cementing themselves, their economy, and start running away with this game.
Snappy's on a search and destroy mission. Gonna walk right into Carrigan's crosshair though, and nothing really that he could do about it. Barely even gets to spot Carrigan before he goes down. 5-0 the start for FaZe, and it starts to sort of walk back on itself a little bit, what we were saying before, right? ENCE have been making it close in a sense in a lot of these rounds. They put some pressure on FaZe, but now it sort of feels like there's been this release valve that's just been opened up a little. FaZe, they've got money starting to flow into their coffers again. They weren't punished at all in that round. ENCE is now down 5 rounds in the blink of an eye, and you've got to wonder, can they actually turn this around? Is it a little bit too far gone now already? Have they given that opportunity to FaZe, that FaZe is just going to say, well, you know, there's the inch, we're going to take the mile?
The thing is that, I mean, FaZe don't really need an excuse to play aggressive. That is just their style. They love to be a little bit more confident. They love to rely on those individuals making plays and even, you know, over-peaking at times, because they know that they can rely on the rest of the players to clutch up and make the right moves in the mid-round. So, but having access to like a whole extra bit of money, a whole extra little bit of a buy, some teams will play, you know, start to change up their setup, start to throw in some different stuff, because they know that they do have that safety net of another buy in the back pocket. So FaZe can even chuck in some different stuff, start being a little more crazy. This is looking cute from ENCE. A half buy with a full execute on the A site, a couple of Mac 10s. This is going to be some blistering pace. We'll see how Rain handles it.
I mean, you've got 3 players there on the A site for FaZe, so they should have enough forces to defend with. Bit of counter util coming out now as well.
Ooh,
already a
love
molly
it.
into ramp, a smoke up into Palace as well, and it's going to keep ENCE at bay as they start to wait for that counter util to fade. Obviously, they've still got their own smokes to play with as they start to work their way into the A bomb site, and Rain does a good job of starting things off, also able to deny the bomb plant as the smoke.
Innovated the wall of smokes on the A site that we see everyone throws them in MM. Used to have all kinds of crazy execs like wall of smokes with double mollies behind them and stuff like that. FaZe knows exactly how to deal with that. They just wait for the smokes to elapse. So much time here from ENCE as they slowly constrict middle, but they're getting kind of surrounded at this point by FaZe slowly.
It's supreme confidence from FaZe, isn't it? Pushes all over the map. Carrigan does drop early on in the piece, but they have the trump card, and his name is Rain.
Oh,
he was heard, and Snappy turns around, takes his head off. Maybe a moment of hope for ENCE as they bring it back to a 4-on-3. Snax is hanging on by a thread, though. 1 HP. Snappy also not looking too crash hot. Twist is in the middle of it all, causing a ruckus, will fall, and Brokey can't deny the bomb plant on A. Again, layers upon layers of flanks, and FaZe find a frag courtesy of Rops. It's on to Dychą now to defend the A site. Snax gonna try and come through to assist, but again, he's 1 HP. And Dychą buying his time long enough perhaps to have won the round now. Can Brokey find that one magic bullet that he needs? Not quite. Molly should have gone deep enough to land on top of the bomb, and Brokey surely now has no chance. Oh, he could maybe tap it. But it doesn't matter. Snax still alive is going to just clutch the round out for ENCE, and what a crazy round that was.
You can see FaZe just going straight for the extremity control. That's where, like, they can start to change up their setups, be very fluid on this CT side of Mirage. With the strong economy they built up for themselves, they can even start mixing in things like double orbs, going on that deep B apps line, or going for a palace peak, and that's going to be extremely hard for ENCE to read and play around. But they did a great job of reacting to the flank there. Snappy in particular, I feel like that was the critical kill, because if Rain picks him, then, you know, it's kind of going to throw caution to the wind for ENCE. They're going to constantly be worried about the extremity and people, you know, pestering them on the flank.
Maybe not the way that ENCE would have liked to have brought up their first round on the T side, but they'll take it nonetheless. One is better than none, and it's something that they can build on. Starting to put some pressure on the CT economy. Madden able to find the trade for Dychą. Keeps it in the balance for this round.
Flash is going to try to set up Madden for some success maybe, but he doesn't peek out Sandwich. ENCE just going to try to cut sound, see if they're going to get any more peeks out of FaZe while the mid players try to find some control or take some contact. Seems like Snax going to again go for the late lurk through B apartments. Great pick from Madden over there from Sandwich. Applies more pressure to these mid players, and Snax on the lurk does get taken care of. It's actually Snappy in B apartments, and look at this bomb rotation all the way through Palace. They're going to try to go back to B here, but Twists... Oh, this duel between Twists and Snappy is absolutely everything, and that has absolutely thrown things into a little bit of a difficult position from ENCE, but they're still able to get the A site. Complete retake setup from FaZe.
Incend available for Madden as well, so he's got a little bit to play with if it gets into the late round. FaZe, having moved largely over toward the B bomb site, have got a long rotate to get back to A here, and already that bomb timer is almost half gone before they can even think about making their way into the site. Madden, he thinks he's cleared out T-Spawn, and it might be a bit of false information. Will turn around again, spots Rops out, but again, Rops just is not losing any duels at the moment. It's down to Hades in the 1-on-3, just has to try to buy time, but can't, as the AWP shot rings out across Mirage, and the defuse is on FaZe. They bounce back off of, I would say, a little bit of a speed bump, really, and they keep on driving.
I thought that was going to be the B-Apps lurk with the contingency plan back towards B. And they didn't commit to it. ENCE given that A site, they did still get the plant down, but FaZe very calm, very comfortable. Even though they're all split up across the map, just taking their time, clearing the angles. All the individuals so sharp that you just back them to win duels, even if they're not coming in on the retake together with, you know, numbers advantages or man advantages. They're still doing it pretty cleanly, pretty sensibly. Going to be difficult to break down this FaZe economy now. They're up 7-1. They've still got cash in the back pocket for more buys. Another tack timeout from ENCE. Going to have a bit of a chat. It's not like they haven't had their opportunities. You know, some of these rounds have been close, trading things back and forth, but FaZe very clearly has the edge in the XVXs. Once it comes down to, you know, 3v3s, post plants, things like that, the individuals on FaZe just all shine because they could just all multi-B execute, puts pressure on Karrigan, but there's going to be a quick flank from Rops, and Twists only getting 1-for-1 out towards that pillar side, and Rops drops the bomb on the flank.
Yeah, Karrigan still waiting on site. Behind bench. Gets deleted through that smoke by Dychą. Maybe there is another twist and another turn still yet to come in this round. Oki not ready for Snax to come jumping through that smoke, and it will be a second for ENCE.
These rounds are so chaotic, man. Just everything happening everywhere at once.
Still plenty of cash in the back pocket, though, for FaZe. That's the issue for ENCE.
Comes down to 2 players surviving on that T side as well. Still got that loss bonus built up though. Just speaks to the level of these teams though, that there's no real indecision.
Rest of FaZe. Twists, holds that spray, catches Madden. It is going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. Hades is there for the trade, but I don't think that's going to worry FaZe all that much. Rops might have been spotted, so he'll just jump his way back up into ladder room. Continue to hold down the mid angle. Smoked off now, but that gives him a bit of room to work. He walks into Snappy's crosshair. Rain at this range with an MP9, you don't give him a chance. Dychą certainly did not. And ENCE, maybe now, they've finally found what they're looking for.
Lost first pick, but what a huge round from Snappy. Whole bunch of duels that he was taking were absolutely critical in the mid-round there. And ENCE have finally got their foot in the door here, Jordan. They've finally broken down that FAZE economy and won their 2 gun rounds that they desperately needed back-to-back. And now FAZE taking a single save, and even in towards the next round, they're going to be on like that 4 to 4.5k kind of buy, you know, A1Ss and limited util. That means no AWP for Brokey. And he's been a big success factor for FAZE so far. So this is a good opportunity for ENCE to not only close this anti-eco, but potentially have an easier buy to play against in the next round. And all of a sudden, that's where they could turn this into a 7-5 half and start to, you know, fight to make it a little bit closer.
Not taking anything for granted in this round, though, is ENCE. Really slow and methodical, starting to work their way through the map now. Taking that smoke into mid-window. Snappy as well. Going to be utilizing his util early on in the piece. As they start to take a bit more mid-control. Con smokes go down. Gives ENCE a lot of room to work with. Little bit of a push out on short from Carrigan as he starts to look for some info now. Not sure how much that's going to help him, though. ENCE looking quite strong in this round. Twist does spot them out, but Carrigan, he's got nothing to defend with, and that'll be the B site more or less cracked open. Yep. Rotates are coming across from those USPing players.
Yeah,
but
it's good stuff. What are you going to do? Very sensible. Mid control taken. Just waiting. Oh, maybe that might be a bit of an overpeak. Losing the AK there. And actually, this is where FAZE could start to get some value out of a round like this. Dychą, see if he could go and get his hands on that AK. He's still on the B site. Brokey wants to try and go and find the weapon if he can, but I think it's been juggled away by ENCE. Snax all over that one. Oh, gets a couple of dinks for him. I think ENCE, though, big picture, very good approach on Mirage, anti-eco. Slow round, taking mid-control, waiting to see if FAZE are going to go for like a flash play into middle or over peak or something like that. And from there, just going for that mid to B split. Taking a lot of those longer range angles. They have someone a bit more mobile on the Mac 10 to be able to run up short. And after all said and done, they only lose a Mac 10 there because I think Dychą did go and scavenge that AK. So this is a really big economic swing now for ENCE. They've had a clean anti-eco there. They've won themselves a gun round. They've got so much cash now, and FAZE, ooh, it's going to be a glass cannon on Robs. That's kind of cool. I was wondering. I was watching. He was holding his buy for quite a while. There must have been a discussion around that. He's got the A spawn here, so you might try and jump up on towards that palace line. Keep an eye on the movement and the positioning of Snax here. Oh, and he might just catch his man as well. Obviously no armor here for Robs. He's going to start to have a look, but the orbit pays off. Great peek. And it's already one step on the way to a round victory for FAZE. And in the meanwhile, they are being so aggressive on middle. They've just got Robs on that A side of the map. The rest of FAZE really trying to take some tools and break any kind of a mid-control there for ENCE. But you can very much see that FAZE not seeing anyone in towards middle can start to lean towards these sites a bit more. They're playing retake B. Really trying to dominate mid and catch ENCE on the cross of some of these angles. Robs is still on that Palace line and gets another one onto Madden as he tries to cross back in towards Palace. Robs is just dismantling this round. And they're so scared of him. You're going to have to deal with him, and of course Rain is waiting on that line as well to peek when necessary. And Robs is tearing them apart. It's a glass cannon orb, but it does the damage. He wants some more. Hades tries to force him away with a warning shot. Oh, the collat! That's a bit of extra damage onto FAZE, but it'll still be their round victory, one would think. Hades stepping up now. 40 seconds left. He's got time to play with. If he turns around and spots Twists, maybe this is winnable. 10 HP. He's missed the timing. Yeah. And he hasn't really got time to go to B anymore. Carrigan will be on that off angle. Twist has made his way into Palace. That's unplantable on A anymore with that player in Palace and the player on the off angle at stairs. Yeah, I was just wondering if he was going to walk forward while Twist was still crossing. Those kills mean something though, for real. And they've got so much money that a save is actually not too bad here for the T side. So Hades at the end of the round taking 3 guns off of FAZE is definitely going to tax their economy and keep that reset window open. 1900 loss bonus here for FAZE. You're going to see a couple of guns being dropped over. That was huge from Rops, though. He had the A spawn. You know, he risks it for the biscuit. Just great intuitive timing of how people move, the way that they default into Palace. Peeks in towards between those pillars at the perfect timing. Then just posts up on that A line. Tack timeout here for ENCE. They recognize the opportunity presented to them in a round like this. 1900 loss bonus for FaZe. If they win this round, they could really start to fight for an 8-7 half. They could break the cash here on the CT side.
Timeout called there for ENCE.
Mac had an important message for you.
He did. Not sure where that's come from. But it's still definitely a salvageable, workable half for ENCE. I mean, you can see they've had their moments. If a little bit more had been going their way, they might even be in the lead.
Yeah.
8-4, you know, this could still balloon out, very much favoring FaZe, but it could still contract. And once again, we're talking about ENCE favorably.
Util into mid here for ENCE. Careful around this underpass position. Robs has just been constantly changing up his playstyle and changing up his position and just continually finding success. The flash from Rain is what you need to keep your eye on. The second that he pulls that, it's going to be an opportunity for FaZe to swing out into middle, and that's exactly what they do. Now Karrigan all alone on the B side. ENCE need to find some entries, and they're doing just that. 2 from Dychą.
Exactly what they needed. ENCE now into the side. Dychą lucky to be alive, but they're forcing Brokey forward, courtesy of those Molotovs. Maybe not quite aware of that factor. He allows himself a couple of frags. And it's on to Snax, the super sub. Can he pull off the unthinkable? Has actually managed to tuck his way into Van as FaZe slow down the play to try to play out the 2-on-1. Snax, I'm starting to feel it. Rain hasn't spotted him. And he's just playing that timer. Snax is going to win this round. On the bomb. Oh, he's not going to win it. Rain covers it off. They knew.
They checked absolutely everything
They
else.
checked
They
everything
really
else. There was only one place he could be. Yeah. And Rain was heads up enough to turn around and have a look at it.
Yeah, process of elimination. This mid setup is absolutely brutal to play against. So many sharp riflers on FaZe. The combo of Rops and Twist just swinging into middle and Rain just enabling that with the flash over from stairs side. Like, they just have such a great intuition about when's a good time to go for that flash peek into middle and how to play off of each other. Very quick one straight out of A ramp, but Madden just goes down for free. Not really too much ENCE can do about that.
Rops not going to have a factor in this round. Brokey gets deleted. Dychą starting to hit some fantastic entries, and it's another twist and another turn to the map as ENCE start to rise up. Minute and a half left on the clock, and immediately a couple of answering frags come through from FaZe. Rain is under pressure, but gets the smoke down. Keeps himself alive.
Things slow down now. Hades waiting to see if he can catch one of these FaZe players making a mistake. Barely misses the timing there on Rain crossing back to middle. Snax going all the way to B. Wants to go on this big rotation all around the map and see if he can find a timing, but Karrigan is about 7 steps ahead of him. He's read him like a bloody book.
We've seen what Hades can do, though. Let's not count him out of this round. He's got full bar of HP. He's got the AWP in hand. He can get the plant down as well. And once he gets that plant, he'll have a lot of time in the post plant. He's even spotted Rain out. Oh, waits for the peak, but Rain is too good at the moment, and no head armor for Hades makes it an easy job.
Yeah, FaZe have lost it. ENCE have lost control of it, unfortunately. They've had a couple of opportunities miss in this half where they really needed to get that one reset round across. Only able to create one of those opportunities, and off that whole economy that they built for themselves, despite some heroics in mid from Snappy. Aha, it's a heroic joke. Still can't get it done. Multi-fragging up the storm with the Galil. Last round of the half, pretty substandard buy from ENCE. They're going to try to get it done with pistols, armor, and util. Another play towards the A site. It's a retake setup from FaZe. What an off angle from Rain. Who the hell plays in front of Ticket?
The major MVP.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right. He's pretty good, I guess. I'd pick him on my team if I got him. And it's for things like that. Opening the account for FaZe. Nicely done. Rops and Brokey looking for a couple more, and This looks like it's going to be a bit more of a formality kind of round for FaZe. Just Snax left and can't do too much in the 1-on-5. So 11 rounds up for FaZe, only 4 for ENCE. I don't know if that tells the exact tale of the way that half played out, but nonetheless, that's exactly where we are. And it looks like FaZe is rampaging through ENCE at the moment. Only 4 rounds on their T side. They were able to manage, despite some close rounds, some good plays, some exciting moments. Just got to wonder, is 4 rounds really enough?
Too many opportunities there on their T side where they missed the window. Needed to reset that CT economy a couple too many times, but FaZe, just such a tough team when even on those low buys on CT, on those 4 to 4.5 Ks, you know, any one of those players with an A1S in hand is still a win condition. Now ENCE need to get rolling on their CT pistol here. Util being thrown over the A side of the map to top con and jungle here for FaZe, making it look like an A side execute. But really, they're just trying to push and pull rotations, and Robs has taken advantage of that already with the first entry.
Wouldn't want to be seeing the pistol go the same way that it did in the first half. Not if you're an ENCE fan, at least.
Oh, look at this. Rain using that as a lurk up con.
Dychą tapping away, but finding no success. Snax will lose his life, and Twist somehow is still half HP. Eats a bink through the wall, but he's still alive, and Rain has gotten in behind. He'll walk his way into CT spawn and just set up like a turret.
FaZe are just all over the map, but all of the players know exactly how to play in every situation. That is beautiful from Dychą. He's been super on point this series. Madden on the retake position on A, can hear all of these footsteps, going to hear the plant starting to come in. Can he deny it? A lot of damage onto Brokey there. Going to start to set himself up with the one-way smoke over towards Ticket side, but Snappy gets cleaned out of jungle.
Carrigan's already found Snappy. It's a 3-on-2. Madden's going to jump up and down and make a bit of noise. He's got his teammate behind him, but Carrigan is lurking in the smoke and waiting and finding his man. 12-4. The round goes the way of FaZe. It's the second pistol of the map for them, and it's terrible news for ENCE.
Must be so hard to play against FaZe Clan, man. Like, all of the players just don't make mistakes. They're split up all over the map, but they're so good at autonomously just making the right play at the right juncture in the round. Very, very few misplays. See all the little parts come together in the mid to late round is so cool to watch. Force buy now from ENCE. Kind of a last-ditch effort, really. Not too many opportunities left for them in this game. Nice timing for Hades, but Rain still just turns on a dime and takes him out. Now this execute into B. Twists up in on the entry.
Twist doesn't care, does he? He's got a Mac 10. He's just charging forward. He knows there's a couple of players here, but he is dismantling the defense on B. A one-man army. Can't quite deal with Dychą. Hang on. Hang on. Hold your horses, ladies and gentlemen. Dychą, he has been the ray of sunlight, the ray of hope for ENCE.
It's been so good to see him step up to a Tier 1 level after a whole bunch of seasons of Premier and Challenger on multiple Polish rosters.
Carrigan's hurt him.
Yeah, he's made the dropping sound, and this off angle looking pretty good for Carrigan. Unfortunately, trying to use the E button to pick up that Galil is going to be the end of him. Nice couple of shots, though. Chris fatiguing. Good damage from ENCE, though. 3 guns taken away.
Yeah.
Now they can reinvest into a couple of Deagles, maybe try to keep that economy low, give themselves an outside shot at winning this next round.
It's the same old story, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
it's good. It's great. It's nice. Good damage from ENCE. Oh, nice round. Almost. Well done. Nice try. NT in chat. But it's 13-4, Pilski. So, at the end of the day, they need rounds.
Yeah. It's not an elimination game, though.
It's true. FaZe are stamping their mark on this tournament, though. That is for sure. They have had no problem sweeping through this bracket thus far, and it doesn't look like they will here either. Rops,
what do you do?
Flying through the air and absolutely nailing everybody. Carrigan playing DM on Mirage right now. You know when you go into DM and you just
DM, dude.
Yeah, play headshot only, or you don't spray, you just tap.
Yep.
Here we go.
Ah!
The Magic Zeus. The mighty Zeus.
Make the noise.
Come on, Snax. Come on, Rops. Do something!
Please.
Yes!
Oh, got him! Oh, the knife!
Double kill! It's great. Well done, friends.
Small victories. We
But they didn't win the round.
Yeah, they did. I know, Jordan. I know. Oh, boy. Alrighty. What do we got here from ENCE? Should be a pretty good buy-in towards round number 19. They got to start getting rolling now. Not much left in this game. FaZe with probably enough to go for a buy in the next, so it's got to be 2 gun rounds back to back to start closing the score round gap. A lot of players in mid here.
He's an absolute mad lad. He's fearless. And he's dead.
The whole CT team is in mid, Jordan. Like, very, very clear what ENCE wanted to do with this round, but Twister's got some space on this A site. This round is very much not done and dusted. Bomb going down for Rops. Twist starting to flash himself into CT to try and take some duels, and Rops is going to start cutting down some of these angles.
I don't know that Rops is going to do anything anymore. Ooh. Twists with a 1-on-4. Is there a chance? Oh, there certainly is. 2 headshots. There's a third. And Snappy. Oh.
So
he denies
close.
the highlight moment. That was going in the montage for sure.
That second shot was absolutely filthy, Jordan. Unbelievable.
Yep.
That guy's pretty good. He's alright.
Well,
do you have any hair product in your bag?
I
Can you do my hair like twists?
I don't know if I can do that. I've always actually been a little bit jealous. I love his hair.
This second shot. Hold on, this one. Oh, it's so filthy, man. And that's going to be so bad for ENCE's economy. You're going to get the reinvestment here straight away from FaZe, and this could be the money broken.
Max just brought me some hair product, so we'll get that one sorted in the break.
Again, ENCE dueling middle a little bit. Not a full commitment in on over here. It's mostly just Snax who's under a little bit of pressure now.
Mid-control established for FaZe, but Rops is playing a dangerous game. He's been spotted, but
that's
call
like
the ambulance.
pretty much a pre-fire.
Not for me. Carrigan not quite going to be able to land that flick. Dychą will take his head off. Back to the 4-on-4 now, but FaZe is trying to pick up the pace as they make their way out from Connector. Losing lives on the way, but they're getting the trades. They're getting what they need done. Numbers still even.
Oh, Rops was over at A earlier. How is Snappy? Every time someone's flanking Snappy, he's all over it. Flash trying to set up that play to peek from jungle. AWP picked up Brokey now, and he's starting to play around these Tetris angles where he can just take a shot and then get back to safety.
Yeah, but they're going to...
The soft reset on FaZe's money. So this is an opportunity now for ENCE to build up their own cash. FaZe have been keeping these rounds competitive, continually pulling guns away from them. I thought that was a pre-fire with how quick it was, but it was just great crosshair placement from Rops. Good stuff from Snappy as well. Here's the save from FaZe. So ENCE, you can see how broke they are. They're reducing their loss bonus down to minimum by winning this round. So they need a really clean anti-eco or they're going to be reset right on that point. And that's something that you really can't afford to have happen.
No scout in this round anymore.
Good start.
ENCE are looking a little more comfortable on their CT side, and it's well and good, but there is a long way to go before we can really start to think about them winning this map. Didn't give themselves that much leeway from the T side, and I think they'll be mulling that over for pretty much the rest of this half, because there was definitely a lot of moments that they could have won rounds. Didn't. We'll see how close they can make it on this CT side. Small bits of damage being done by FaZe, but nothing too substantial. Down though. Swiss has been spotted out, so it is just Brokey, and he is going to be absolutely slammed by util.
Snappy is like the best anti-flank player ever, I swear to God. It's another time where someone's gone on a really random late lurk timing, and he's just been all over it. That's exactly what ENCE needed though. 4 guns taken through is going to stabilize that economy. FaZe does get the plant though, so they're going to be able to put together a very nice spy here. AWP for Brokey, full util for all the boys. And you just back FaZe to close this game every day of the week. Like, you know, this much of a round gap rather to play with for Carrigan. Like, surely he just gets 2 good calls across the line, and that's all you really need. Multiple smokes in towards middle here for FaZe. They're not really using them. ENCE not respecting them at all, just looking for info. Starting to vacate middle now as these smokes come over from the A side, all thrown by Brokey. All of that util to jungle and top corners. This underpass lurk starting to come in here. These ENCE players that are playing those rotate positions on towards stairs, on towards jungle are going to be a little bit confused. They got to keep their cool because FaZe are really trying to abuse these timings right now.
No one so much as moving a muscle holding those close lines. Dychą, though, has managed to find twists trying to make his way up connector. Snax not yet spotted and tucks himself in the corner, but Rops will check it. It's not going to matter. Snax is good for 1. Not a second. That's more than enough, though. ENCE have the numbers advantage well and truly, and Carrigan hiding above the smoke. It's not a great place. So Brokey this time left in a 1-on-4. ENCE are not going to give him any leeway at all. Madden finishes it off. 8 up now for ENCE. They step 1 meter closer. 6 rounds to go before they equalize.
No plant means that it's probably got to be another one of these half buys for FaZe. ENCE economy starting to get a little bit more healthy now. So ENCE definitely in a position where this comeback is possible. Wouldn't say likely, but it's possible. Started to pick up some momentum, individuals hitting their shots. Hard buy here for FaZe, trying to contest mid-control, but that is getting shut down well and truly from ENCE. Keep an eye on what happens this next gun round, though. Because you've seen ENCE playing very heavy middle at the start of the round, time and time again. I'm kind of wondering if FaZe is going to go for like a quicker one out of one of the extremities. Maybe a quick Palace pop, or fast out A ramp, or a quick one towards B.
At what point does it get a bit close for comfort? Are we there yet?
No, I don't think so. I think you need 2 more gun rounds from ENCE.
Well, it's not that far away. We've been motoring through this second half.
Like 11 or 12, you start to have a think about it. This is why I'm saying that I'm waiting to see what the adaptation from karrigan is in this next round, because he's already seen a couple of gun rounds now from ENCE where you've seen them fighting pretty heavily for middle. This is the kind of mind game, right? When you're trying to put together this much of a comeback on the CT side, you can't just keep throwing the same setup in there. So we'll see how ENCE starts this next round. Are they going to do like a 2-1-2? Are they going to keep doing these 1-3-1s and this mid-aggression in towards the next round? And for FaZe, like I said, are they going to do something a little different? First thing I'm looking at is Brokey buying himself an AWP? Or are we going 5 rifle? Because that's going to tell us something about the tempo and the pacing that FaZe is going to use here. Straight on the AWP. Attack timeout for FaZe. Nice and reasonably early on here. They know they've still got plenty of room to work with. They've got a couple of tells, a couple of ideas, watching how ENCE is playing Mirage so far.
That's the first attack timeout FaZe have used this map. So,
I mean, the first half, they weren't having any problems.
Correct, but what I'm saying is if this actually starts to get tight, they can...
Yeah, they got a lot of tacks, for sure.
Keep spamming them.
The thing is, though, you also give ENCE time to discuss when you're taking those tacks. So it is a bit of a double-edged sword sometimes.
Can be. Let's see if the fruits of the labour will come into effect in this round for FaZe.
So FaZe just goes straight for the mid-control. A lot of util invested here. ENCE don't commit to that mid-aggression. Rain already very deep up on this connector position, so 1-3-1 from FaZe, just watching the extremities, posting up these players in middle. And karrigan's already picked up that bomb and started heading back towards A. So they're trying to draw these ENCE players towards middle. You can see ENCE still very much committed into that 1-3-1 positioning for the time being. As FaZe organize themselves on A, they're going to be going into a retake A setup. Most of the util here on Snax, you know, you're looking at things for the retake like a molly, you know, HE nades and stuff like that to try to make those players over near firebox a little bit more uncomfortable and make that retake a little bit more streamlined for ENCE as they come back in here.
What's the counter util looking like for ENCE at the moment?
There's none. It's really just Madden looking to try to get a pick as they're coming into the site and stay alive here.
AK though on this line to find a pick. Not going to be easy. Gets the nade out. Doesn't really do much damage with it. And he's already down to 33 HP, but has managed to find the head of karrigan. So there's the pick you're looking for.
Beautiful. Bomb dropped as well. That's going to burn some time off the clock. That's allowed Hades to get into position over here.
Yeah, and FaZe have run out of util. They don't really have any smokes.
Yeah.
Couple of flashes maybe to play with, but getting a plant down is going to be very hard, and that's a great flick from Hades.
Yeah, ENCE in complete control at this point. They're max chilling in towards these jungle and con positions. Only that that jungle smoke the last thing up, but Hades is just picking them apart with absolute ease. Couple of picks from Rops out of Palace, though.
13 seconds only, though, Pilski, and the molly's now only just coming through for ENCE. Counter util from Snax. He was the player that had it in the back pocket, but all of a sudden we're down to a one-on-one. How on earth this has happened, I have no idea. But Twists might just put it through to match point for FaZe. He's looking for it, gets the reload off, but Snappy saves the day for ENCE.
It's just there's no way that round should be so close. Like, it's so unreasonable.
Yeah.
Just the individual skill on FaZe. ENCE were all over that. They did
were.
Absolutely everything right. And then Robs was just like, yeah, feeling like a 3K. Twist taps another one, and then it's a 1v1, and like, Snappy is just clenching. and still get it done though. And like I said, they've done a great job building up their economy in the last little bit. So losing that many guns is not as much of an issue as it might be for ENCE. Plant will enable FaZe to go for another buy here though.
And they've done so.
Bomb plants are super important for FaZe as they hit this full loss bonus.
A lot of smokes into mid this time again from FaZe, but they're not sending any members in that direction.
There's a little more pressure on the extremities here. Smokes into B all the way from spawn from Rops. They're FaZe really trying to fake out like this is a B-side execute, and then they start to go out ramp looking for a pick. Both Brokey and Rain trying to find some space here as Twist lurks up from underpass.
Man, these opening frags from Madden have been really, really useful.
This is just not gone well for FaZe at all. Madden's all over it. Perfect timing picking out onto Twist. And this is again like another 2-on-5 where like, thank God Rops doesn't have his gun in his hand because you'd probably back him to win that duel. But ENCE, another great round where they seem to be all over it. And with no bomb plant for FaZe here, they might try to have to go for a bit of a half buy.
I did ask you the question a couple of rounds ago.
I'm starting to believe. ENCE is looking convincing.
That's the 2 gun rounds we spoke of. I'd have to agree with you. ENCE is looking very good. FaZe still have a lot of tack timeouts in the back pocket, though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised to see one getting called right after this round. But ENCE have looked clean as a whistle on the CT side. Brokey doing a little more damage. Again, not a huge concern for ENCE at the moment. They've got plenty of cash to play with. But if he were to somehow win this duel onto Snax, which he's not really even going to go for, maybe there was a scary moment. 14-11 though.
Yeah, no plant for FaZe means this is probably a half buy pistol armor with some util most likely. Rops has got enough for a hero AK, which is scary.
It's a good man to have it.
Yeah, and it's not even just him, like, even if he dies.
Well, they've all got armor.
If they get onto the side and he dies, Twist can pick that up.
Yeah, Twists. How many almost clutches has he pulled off so far on this map?
So we're going to have an AEXE here. Hades is going to be playing retake with that AWP from Triple.
Here at the moment, and Rain is starting to gather some map control. This starts to look a little worrisome for ENCE.
Another pick from Twist. Rops is set up perfectly in Palace.
Yeah, Snappy gonna have a job to do. Madden is chiming in and helping out, but still 3 Ts to find and not a lot of time to do it in. Smoke down in connector. It's on to Rain now, but the bomb is to an extent planted for him. If he gets the timing right, denies the defuse, he's not gonna be there. Snappy will cover it off anyway. 14-12.
It's another round where ENCE, like, they're relatively in control of that. You know, playing that retake setup, they're just letting FaZe burn out all their util. But when you saw Twist getting a couple of those Tech 9 frags from the stairs position, you were starting to get a bit nervous for ENCE.
Yep.
A little bit nervous. They put it back together though. They've got plenty of cash. This has been really, really great building of their economy this whole game long. Another tack timeout for FaZe here. There's been more than enough for Carrigan to look at to start to get a feel on, you know, what might be a good call, what might work. It feels like FaZe at the moment is trying to be a little bit too tricky sometimes.
Maybe.
They're throwing multiple different sets of smokes from all the way back on the map, trying to push and pull rotations, and it doesn't really feel like ENCE is panicking or overreacting to any of those plays.
8 rounds in a row for ENCE. The only rounds FaZe have won in this half are the pistol and then the subsequent 2 rounds. So, based on that math, you have to kind of back ENCE to close it out now. They've been doing really well, but all it takes is one little falter, one mistake. The final hurdle.
Oh, Hades.
And could that be it?
Only legs twists. He was trying to go for an AWP pick on that underpass position, but only hits the leg shot and Twist cleans him up. So now a man advantage for FaZe. How do ENCE recover this position? They don't really have anyone on any kind of aggressive angles. They don't have a wealth of util to lean back on. Look at this massive util advantage for FaZe. And they're going to use it too. They're just going to walk back to A, keep things simple, and throw a bit of a side exit.
Seen a bunch of multi-frags from Madden on this site when FaZe have tried to walk their way in, so they're going to need... Has come across on the fast rotate. It It is 3 players defending A. It's your standard hold, and he's got himself into Ninja as well. I wonder, FaZe, are they going to clear it out? Not quite in time. Snax, through the flash, is able to find one, and maybe ENCE can pull themselves out of trouble another time. Look at how low these FaZe members are. Dychą and Snappy still in with a chance, but everything going to plan for FaZe. The flashes landing to perfection, the util, the smokes. And Snappy will probably have to give up that match point round to FaZe.
Great rotation timing from Snax. He got into position there. Couple of close duels could have been the difference maker from ENCE. Maiden gets spammed through the smoke as well. A little bit unlucky, but FaZe finally got the round that they've been looking for. Just so many rounds where they're so far ahead. They can just continue having a crack at it. Tack timeout for ENCE now. It's their last of the map. They've done a great job on this comeback, and actually they've looked pretty rock solid on this CT side, but at the end of the day, they just didn't get enough out of their T side, it feels like.
Yeah.
They've been on a good enough streak to actually go 3 back-to-back. Like, it's not unreasonable to say that.
I agree.
But, I don't know, just feels like FaZe have got enough quality to avoid that OT. Those flashes from Ropsu are absolutely perfect. He's been coming out of that Palace position for such a long time, even going back to that Mouse Sports roster, so he's so great at setting up those entry players, scaling out ramp for success with the right util at the right times.
Well, here we go. Hades cannot land the shots. Smoke will bloom, and that allows Brokey out to top mid. He's having a bit of a look for Hades as well, and he's going to find his man. That's the 2nd round in a row now that Hades goes down early on, and ENCE will have to play out the 4-on-5. It's quickly brought back, so maybe not as big of a concern as the previous round here for ENCE.
So many players here for ENCE off towards the middle. They really want to take a duel here if they can. They've got this triangle crossfire, but in comes a bit of a B execute. Now a lot of pressure on Snappy. He's all on his lonesome without really too much support.
Hiding in jail at the moment. Oh, it was the place to be, but he couldn't land the shots on Rain, and now rotates have to come over. The reinforcements have to arrive. Snax has done a good job to get one, but Dychą, it all rests on his shoulders. He spots the bomb, drops Robs, can't get any more done. Carrigan eats a headshot.
Nade.
The nade certainly will finish him off. And Madden fell off the line at the wrong time. Did give up some HP. Again, it's Twists in the clutch. He's had quite a few of these opportunities. Hasn't converted. This is the 3rd, and this is the one. FaZe 16-12. It took them a while to get it over the line. ENCE a stoic CT side, but it was not enough. And FaZe is now 1-0.
Never die. Fighting as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side.
roller coaster of a map that one was, but FaZe eventually were able to get it over the line, 16-12. ENCE, I think they'll walk away from that one a bit disappointed in the T side and the fact that on CT they looked so good, but at the 11th hour they did stumble. The final hurdle maybe a little bit too much to have jumped over, and FaZe up 1-0 at the moment. Pilski, it was an exciting match to cast, a very enjoyable one to watch. Big highlight moments on both sides, quite a lot of them in fact. But end of the day, FaZe just showing their class and being able to get it done.
Yeah, they just had too much room to work with for ENCE to really put the comeback back together. I really feel like ENCE kind of lost that game on their T side more so than anything, because their CT side, it was very clear that they were able to kind of string a lot of rounds together and get a lot out of that. They just couldn't quite get enough of those resets. Like FaZe is just so good on the CT side that even when their economy is pressured, even when they have like one of these rounds where they've only got A1Ss and like a couple of nades here and there or a glass cannon, or there's just so much class and talent on their team that someone will come up with a multi-frag and they can still get it done.
Yeah, and look, those flashes right at the end really clutching out the game. I saw like 3 of the members in that final round from FaZe so low, within an inch of their lives.
Yeah.
But I think it was Rops at Pal just lobbing the flashes over stairs, just kept Dychą fully blind, and then in a 4-on-1 it was just so much to ask for in that second last round. FaZe finally stopping that big string of rounds that you saw coming through from ENCE there.
Yeah.
But look, ENCE are looking like a heavy contender with a performance like that.
For sure.
Issue is jumping on over to another map where FaZe has a 100% win rate. That's where things get even more scary.
It is a little scary, especially after having lost map 1, but I will say the 100% win rate maybe is a little bit of a lie, because they haven't played a lot of it. They haven't played it against tier 1 teams. They've beaten Copenhagen Flames, Bad News Eagles, and Sprout on Ancient, which, you know,
what are you trying to say about Bad News Eagles?
Credit where it's due. Those are all good teams.
This guy's talking smack about the Kosovo
I wouldn't
boys.
do that. Did you see
like
how many
ENCE is on a
fans they
different
had
level.
at the major? You're going to get in trouble if you keep on bad-mouthing them.
That's fine. I probably won't make it to a major, so I think I'll be fine.
Selfish guy, 0 majors.
That's right, yeah. All the Brazilians going to come after me on Twitter and just let me know. They've been doing to all the other talent. Look, I tell you what, though, I obviously still have a lot of faith in FaZe, regardless if you look at the stats and you want to, play with the numbers however you will. You've got to back them. They've chosen Ancient. They've probably chosen it for a reason. And based on what they were able to do on the first half of Mirage, it really looked like they were going to dominate this map. I'll give credit to ENCE. They looked really good, and I agree, Mac, that they do look like a heavy contender. And to be honest, the way everyone else is kind of playing at the moment, I guess I'll have to wait and see what Furia can do later on today, but I could almost say this is maybe a grand final prelude. I think ENCE definitely has the caliber to do that throughout the bracket and into the playoff stages. But up against FaZe, I feel like there is maybe just that little bit of discrepancy, right? There's FaZe just being a little bit stronger at the moment, and that was evidenced on Mirage.
Yeah, I don't think Snax was left wanting that map either. Like, he had a couple of good plays and nice little multi-frags in there, so, he's not lagging behind too heavily. But we'll see what happens when they go into something like an Ancient, and whether they've had the ability to actually, bet him in as easily on a map like that, as opposed to, some of the other maps that they've already played. If they do make it through to a third over towards Nuke somehow, then that's, like I said, already a map that they played in this tournament, so that can definitely help out.
I do remember, though, when Snax was on Anonymo, they played a lot of Ancient. It was not too long after
a lot
the
of
map
those
came out.
Polish mixes in Challenger and Premier and stuff definitely did play a fair bit of Ancient. That was often a map like in the playoffs that was kind of important.
Talk about the Air Force Aim High head-to-head and have a chat about a couple of the individuals that did step up on that map. How can you not highlight Rops? I feel like there was a lot of players on the FaZe side that you could have touched on. And of course, Snax as well. I really respect and I'm impressed with what Snax has been able to do in this ENCE squad.
Yeah, especially with how inactive he's been and how long it's been since he's kind of played at the tier 1 level. He's done this a couple of times now where he's come in and been a stand-in for a team. I remember, he was playing for like a Mouse Sports roster for a little while. I don't think that was as a stand-in. I'm pretty sure he has been like a stand-in for another team a while ago. I can't remember who it was, but, not too unfamiliar of a situation for Snax. And like I said, he wasn't left wanting in terms of, individual performances in this game. He was definitely, particularly on the CT side, starting to make some stuff happen.
Well, look, he's a legend of the game, and he definitely stood out, and did a whole lot of work there in that second half. Unfortunately, look, as you guys were saying in the cast,
This
ENCE
round
just took a while.
This
to
round
get
from
into the
Rops
T-side.
was like huge. Like it was 7-4. If Rops doesn't 4K with Glass Cannon Orp in that round, ENCE would have broken their money and actually made it a really close T-half. And that's where, with how solid we saw them on the CT side, they actually probably could have won the game.
That
Like,
was
I
what
realistically believe that. So
Kind of
that,
felt like it was the problem for ENCE, was
Yeah.
that every time they got into a swing round, every time there was the opportunity to kind of push the issue in the first half, that round ultimately went to FaZe.
yeah, and that 4K with I feel like that 4K with the Glass Cannon Orp from Rops actually changed the fate of this game 100%. Like that made such a big impact on the rest of the map.
Just one of those impactful swing points of the game. I'm actually having a look at a few of the ancient stats here from ENCE. I know Snax, of course, isn't in the lineup, but they've taken out G2, Australia's heroic Copenhagen Flames. Their most recent performance was actually an L against Copenhagen Flames as well, so maybe that's something FaZe are going to try to play off. But look, FaZe at least getting this first map across the line, 2 maps with 100% win rate, means that they should have easy pickings to confirm the series in 2, but I don't know, my inner child wants ENCE to, you know, turn it into 3, wants to make it a big series, because that first game...
To map number 2, it'll be Ancient, and ENCE needs the victory over FaZe to force it to map 3.
It's happening. O Major é nosso.
There's no way, no world, no universe that happens until there is. The world's best teams are coming to Dallas in May. No way you miss it.
Shadows, I've come to make a name, ready for battle, 'cause I got a throne to claim. Think that I'll crumble, I'll show you a mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, 'cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger, so meet the monster. Smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet, forget all of my fears, 'cause I know my destiny, I feel a champion waking inside of me.
Well, it's time for map number 2, and it's time for ENCE to step up. They certainly did that in the second half of Mirage, but as we've said already, Pilski, they did not give themselves enough room from the T side of Mirage. Now, though, they get to start on the CT side of Ancient, a fairly CT-sided map, and everything pointing in the right direction, hopefully, for ENCE to be able to push this one through to a map 3.
Could be a good opportunity for Hades to get himself rolling as well. It seems like he's had like a slow start to some of these games, but if ENCE can have a good start on the CT side and he can get an AWP in his hands nice and early, that could be a promising sign.
FaZe look like they want to keep the pace moving pretty quickly as they go straight into the B bomb site. Hades mollied out, but he doesn't care. He's fighting through the fire and the flames. And he'll find himself just the one frag. Trades do come out from FaZe as the bomb plant goes down, but Rops has not planted it safely and he'll die. And it's now back into equal numbers scenario. FaZe with some strange control of the map are going to go straight through that smoke and all the way to A. Snappy calls the bluff. He follows suit, but the dualies cannot stand up against the Glock. So it's on to just Snax solo as Brokey is able to get the plant down. Carrigan was not expecting Snax from that angle at all, and Brokey has a very winnable round ahead of him now. Works his way forward onto the site, but Brokey... Oh, he just gets deleted, Snax!
That's vintage from Snax. Like, the amount of USP clips that Snax has had in his career is absolutely
big
insane.
Apples, something.
Yeah, something about
hungry.
apples. Personally, I prefer Samsung myself.
What a flick.
Dude, I even used to have like a Stat Track Orion, the same USP that Snax has always used with all the stack stickers on it. So
Weird
all
flex,
the iconic,
man, but
all the iconic clips.
Cool.
Look, I had that same pistol.
What's that? That's filth.
That's vintage. Vintage Snax. Very much needed for ENCE as well. Get themselves off on the right foot and keep it rolling, man. Didn't have a great start to the last half. Force up for FaZe after the plant, though. Goes 1 for 1 in middle. Rest of FaZe starting to gun it out A now.
Able to line a couple up. Did get binked down, but he'll survive for now. The smoke actually will help him out. And Hades is going to try to just chime through with that final kill. Could have been a bit more of an expensive round for ENCE than it was, but there you go. 3 guns alive. Not too bad.
Yeah, that's beautiful. FaZe don't get a plant either, so ENCE, this is a chance for them to build up their economy. Anti-eco. Don't lose too many guns if you can avoid it. FaZe probably will be some investment in this round, maybe a couple of upgraded pistols. So you can't take them for granted. FaZe on the digs are scary, man. It's going to be a deco.
Deco for all but Carrigan.
Yeah. I think once you get close to 30 or you hit 30, you don't buy dig anymore.
Your deagle pass is denied.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
You try and click on it and it just goes boom. It won't let you buy it.
You are old, sorry.
ENCE have taken real control of the map already. And I guess you're liable to do that when you know that FaZe is on a full eco.
That would have been a kill before the deagle change.
Well, I think we can all say working as intended. Snax having a pretty good start to the map. 5 and 1. Picked up a few eco frags there.
That is, yeah, maybe more damage than ENCE really bargained for. But 3 alive, 2 rounds in a row is about an even outcome for both teams. It still gives an opportunity for FaZe to come into these next couple of FaZe. Going to kick off a B exi pretty early on here.
That is a lot of mid-control attempted by ENCE, and they've probably got the players in the right position to try and defend against a B push. Hades boosted up, spots the head of Carrigan, and he's a dead man.
Oh, look at Rops, though. This duel between Rops and Dychą is absolutely huge. Dychą does win it, so still some control of middle for ENCE. Snappy's alive and Cheetah here, and Brokey trying to put that plant down and set up the 2-on-3 post plant.
Oh, Twist is going to get aggressive, but it ultimately is his undoing. Brokey, he would have been hurt. Yeah, there was a tag on the molly there, so it makes it pretty easy for ENCE to finish off in the end.
Plant, though, is probably going to allow FaZe in for another buy here if they want it. Depends how much they value the AWP and things like that. But yeah, still plenty of cash here to reinvest. And with 3 alive for ENCE, that's going to be a bit of a money building round for them. But here's now an opportunity for them to go for an AWP if they want to. Snax can definitely drop that over to Hades. But they're going to continue with this rifle-centric gameplay. 3 AKs picked up by ENCE gives them a lot of one-shot headshot potential, which can be pretty good on the CT side. Cool approach to that first gun round though, Jordan. Just absolutely dominating mid from ENCE. They're going for something similar. 4 mollies in the first part of the round to just deny any entry into middle or B ramp.
I mean, that was pretty much what ENCE did last round. They're really looking to control the flow of the play on this CT side.
But look at the adjustment from FaZe. Like, they just let ENCE use all that utility. They're holding all of their grenades, and then they're going to go back for some mid and B ramp control in the mid round, but they've lost twists on the way through.
It's not looking too fantastic at the moment for FaZe. This is a real fight back from ENCE after what happened on map 1. Turning the tide, that's for sure. Snax gets the timing wrong, and Rops is waiting for him.
Snappy almost dies, just getting spammed through that cheetah wall there. Rest of FaZe going to link up with Rops and start making their way towards that A site, which is going to be a lot of pressure on Hades. The rest of the ENCE team on the other side of the map, but they've done a little bit of pushing and they've gathered a little bit of info at least. Snappy gone for a little bit of a risky push down B ramp, considering he's so low. Has gathered some great info.
Huge, though.
Yeah, I mean, look at that rotation across. Both Madden and Dychą are going to be in a much better position now.
Madden's already on the A-bomb side, and Dychą is about halfway there, watching for a push coming through from mid. The util's going to give the game away now. ENCE is going to know this is an A push. Dychą, he goes down, only the 1-for-1, but Hades still alive. Not too much coming through from him either, and Dychą eventually drops. It's Snappy, who is wrapping from behind on 2 HP that will now have to clutch it out for ENCE. Otherwise, it'll be the first round under the belt for FaZe.
Yep, he thought about it.
Thought better of it.
Yeah, no loss bonus, so if he survives here, he can drop a rifle over to Dychą or Snax, which is going to shore up their buy a little bit. Having a look around middle, seeing if he can pick himself up any more grenades. He's found himself another flash. That's pretty cool. Good adjustment from FaZe, though. That was a bit of a miscellaneous push through the smoke on bottom mid from Snax. ENCE with man advantage there. Feeling like maybe they needed to force something.
Well, that might be the first step on the way to victory for FaZe. Money's a bit spotty on the CT side as well, isn't it?
Well, for both teams, really. At least FaZe have got a little bit of loss bonus. It's going to be a swing round.
And these were the ones that brought ENCE unstuck on map 1.
This is mid take. ENCE don't dominate mid this time. A little bit of a different approach. Instead, investing a lot of utility over towards that B side of the map. But Snappy pops out from cheetah and gets himself a pick. First man advantage for ENCE yet again.
Oh, Rain, is he going to swing? No, he's got a nade in hand. And Snappy's found that timing. Doesn't seem to matter which way they try to control mid. ENCE continues to win.
Yeah, 4 on 2 for them. But Robson Brokey's still alive,
Oh,
well
Rops.
and truly able to win this round if they find the right timings. Great pick from Rops, but he loses a lot of HP.
It's going to get boosted up. Ollie's going to go back in to cover off Donut, but they don't have a smoke, which is going to make getting a plant incredibly difficult, maybe nigh impossible. Rups. It's got some trickiness going on, but it's not going to matter. ENCE will win their 5th. And where's the answer from FaZe?
Haven't had one yet. Bit of a different timing to pop out mid there from Snappy. You know, they've been doing a lot of those mid takes, trying to dominate mid and fight the rest of the map from there. That time, Snappy pops out on a little bit of a different timing from Cheetah and finds a lot of success there, a lot of impact. Is this half buy from FaZe? They didn't get that bomb plant, so they couldn't quite put a buy together here. So that was massive from ENCE.
Faster into mid again from FaZe, and this time it's Twists with the Tech 9 that's looking for damage. Hasn't really been able to connect much just yet. ENCE's going to keep them from pushing any further, so it's towards the donut that they turn.
Yeah, FaZe just executing B to try and push and pull rotations and find a little bit of a timing to get a pick in mid. Same kind of concept as those A-site smokes on Mirage with the lurk under underpass.
Snax well aware that Twist is stuck in the cutout now. Has got a little hole in the smoke to peek through.
Rain's got a pick. This is getting spicy for ENCE. They lose this round, they will get hard reset, and this is going to be a much closer game.
Rain unable to double down. Kerrigan is going to check the corner, but didn't really commit to it. Inevitably though, Robs and Twists have found a frag apiece. Twists in mid, biding his time, and he certainly has been rewarded for
Paweł
that.
z DC wpłacił 10
He's
zł.
lucky to be alive,
Pozdrawiam i
but that is a
powodzenia
bomb
w
plan going
rozwoju.
down right now, and FaZe
Twist is in bloody Canada.
have only two
He hasn't
players
made it
left.
to the tournament yet. Where's he at?
Hopefully he's hopping on the plane. And hopefully it's a pretty fast one, because he's going to be needed. Hades is starting to push his way down and clear. Angled eagle shot. Not quite there for Brokey. And now it's Hades trying to force the push to come through. They've still got time left to play with here, FaZe. But spam from the Tech 9. It's going to do the job. Twists now in the one-on-one. All he has to do is line them up. But the reload, it gets the better of him. And he had to push through the smoke. He didn't know if Hades was defusing or not. And FaZe cannot get it over the line.
No, but that's a lot of damage on the half bite. And they get a plant with full loss bonus. So they're straight back into this gun round here, Jordan, and they definitely have an opportunity to break ENCE's money now.
I thought FaZe was going to win that.
Yeah, me too.
Spam through the wood wall. If he didn't have to reload, and if he could have kept spamming through the wall, easy clap. Not so this time. Difficult task ahead for FaZe now.
100%. But ENCE, this could be a very different game if they lose this round. This is a big swing round for FaZe, who are sizing up this A side of the map on a bit of a different timing. They're going to leave Rain over here, but Madden, great peek down B ramp. Both him and Snappy have done such a great job of just getting picks autonomously by aggressing B ramp or aggressing Cheetah at the right point in the mid round.
It's toward A that FaZe is going to turn their attention this time. We'll get to see what their A take is going to look like. Kerrigan has already managed to equalize the numbers with that frag onto Snax. Hades behind these smokes, in fact above these smokes. He's going to do a good job of catching one on the entry. And FaZe slowed down. They need to pick that bomb back up, making a bit of noise. Brokey, he's going to fall for the exact same trick.
Dude, Hades is 15-2, and I haven't even seen him pick up an AWP yet. He is dominating.
Hit rounds in, 15 frags.
Bro, ENCE is my favorite Polish team right now. Look at them go.
They do have a Polish flag on HLTV at the moment.
It's been a while since I saw Polish flag in Tier 1 tournament, not going to lie. FaZe full loss bonus though, so they're straight back into it. Going to buy up here. But that's a bit of an economy building round from ENCE. Really, really nice multi-frags in there from Hades, shutting things down, makes all the difference. A lot of util being invested. Kerrigan has a bit of a timing to come up ramp here. Ooh, Madden, I think here's the footsteps. Kerrigan not respecting this at all. Straight up in front of the smoke, and he's going to find the entry as well. Rain getting snappy on Cheetah side. ENCE's peaks in the mid-round are not doing well for them this time.
Oh, Snax catches Rain. He was getting a little bit greedy for a frag there, wasn't he? So the numbers do get drawn back by 1, but it's still advantageous for FaZe.
Rob's throwing mid-smokes from outside of A right now. He's just got so many nerdy lineups, man. They're going to go and take mid-control off of those smokes a little bit. Just a little bit of a peek into mid. FaZe still very spread across the map. And with those mid-smokes being thrown out, as well as control of a position like Cheetah and B-Ramp, FaZe know that they've done a great job denying a lot of info to ENCE. ENCE very split up at the moment, one apiece across all the sites.
Oh, Snax, you got to be quaking in your boots at the moment if you're feeling that there's this many players headed in your direction. But will they check him is the ultimate question.
Oh.
Rops has it on lockdown.
Yeah, that's really nice mid-rounding from FaZe. Just those smokes into middle to deny info. They do a great job of just cutting the map in half and not allowing ENCE to get any kind of flanks or any kind of advanced info that allows them to inform their decisions and kind of rotate and stack the site. That's really what you want to be doing in these disadvantageous situations on the CT side. You need to try and go for info gathering. You need to try to go push, maybe even up the numbers a little bit. Just not something that ENCE were allowed to do. These 2 guns being saved over from ENCE, though, is definitely going to give them another buy in the next round, but that will be it. If FaZe can win another gun round, then this is going to get a whole lot closer. If that's the case, Jordan, that's where we're looking again at ENCE to go onto their T side, and that's where they need to get work done, but failed to do so on Mirage.
Hey, it's a similar position right now for FaZe as to what ENCE was dealing with in the first half of Mirage.
Yeah.
FaZe need to win a swing round, and then the half can potentially still be theirs.
ENCE taking attack here. They recognize the importance of this round. If they drop this round, this half's going to be completely different. It's going to be FaZe very quickly getting, 4 or 5 rounds on the trot, most likely. But like I said, taking attack, a bit of a double-edged sword. This is going to give FaZe some time themselves to kind of discuss how they want to approach this round, as it is an important one for them, right? This is their entry point back into the half.
Big investment coming through from both sides. Dychą, though, is just down to the MP9. He's favoured a bit of extra util rather than an upgraded weapon. See what Hades can do early on in this round with the AWP.
Double smoke top mid. Interesting.
Have really looked for a lot of mid-control early on in the piece, but it's not going to be what matters necessarily here. Snappy, this duel, a big one, and he'll beat Carrigan to the punch. Rops makes the job much more difficult for Snax. He pulled off a nice clutch in the pistol, but can't do it this time.
That's it. FaZe is straight back into it, Jordan. Massive round for them to win. ENCE is completely broke.
That's the kind of round that went missing for ENCE in the first map too. This time, they have a little bit more leeway to play with, but it's not a good sign. Even though the scoreline is very favorable, you feel as though FaZe is a bit of a shark in the water right now.
Yeah. Should be a pretty clean anti-eco from them. Not a whole lot invested in here from ENCE. Push on towards the A side of the map for Ross to defend. Just get cleaned up. So that's going to be a rifle in the hand of Dychą to try and do further damage.
Roki, not going to be making a mistake here. 250 gets whipped out for a second frag, and it's just Madden left now for ENCE, and that scoreboard is ticking ever closer. Speaking of mistakes, though, a missed shot. It
that might just
gives
be
Madden
a
a chance.
I think that you just saved the orb there, to be honest.
Well, it's going to be a long save.
Give it to your boy Hades. And now we listen to the tranquil sounds of the jungle. What is that?
That's just beautiful.
Oh, can you imagine if like they just started some construction or something right at that 1 second? Oh, boy, that's what it was like at my old apartment, dude. Every day, you wake up in the morning. Oh, I mean, you know that's your life.
Yes.
Open up the
bang, 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 bang. Hey, everyone, wake up. It's 7 a.m. Thanks, guys. I'm glad we had that moment of peace, though.
Yeah. Quiet before the storm. ENCE have been pretty good in these gun rounds, so let's see that. Straight down mid is Snax, able to trade one back, and the rest of FaZe trying to kick off this B execute, but they're getting disrupted at every turn. This is beautiful from ENCE.
They're not being given the chance to even walk through the doors. Hades eventually gets his hands onto an AK and keeps holding that W button. Ooh.
ENCE say, sorry mate, it's closed for today. Not allowed in. Hit to the B site.
8-4. Really nice response from ENCE, just when it sort of looks like maybe FaZe is going to be given the opportunity to start to take some control on their T side.
Dude, Hades is balling out of control. 19-5. Oh, a lot more activity in mid this time from FaZe.
Rain has the opener, so maybe FaZe is not done just yet. Maybe looking towards a bit of an A push here with Rops by, and Rops is getting eaten alive by Snax at the moment. Dychą is there to bail him out of trouble as well.
Just can't lose a fight right now. Outside of Rain, who's hitting a couple of shots.
To be fair, Snax was tagged up. Hades will make no mistake.
Ooh, that's going to be a reset. That's a reset on FaZe's money. That's double dig for ENCE, no doubt about it. What a great CT side. Same as Mirage. If their T side is going to go missing a little bit like the last map, then maybe they do need to get the most that they can out of this CT side here. But I don't know if that's going to be the case, to be honest, because I feel like they just lost the important key swing rounds on Mirage. It's not that their approach was terrible. And I feel like, in general, I'm always a fan of Snappy's calling.
They looked pretty competitive on the T side of Mirage. More competitive than 4 rounds would indicate.
Yeah. The opening game of the tournament, ENCE against Mouse, like, Snappy's calling on Nuke was really good.
Maybe we'll get to see that calling on Nuke once again.
That's true.
If ENCE are successful here. Push in again from Snappy. ENCE have been really aggressive on the CT side in taking map control, and he's right behind Rain, but he doesn't know it. Execution from Rain, but he's punished himself. Hades now. Bit of aim prac maybe ahead for him in this round as he's dealing with just the pistols. Already 2 dropping to his hand, but Dychą and Madden have the rest secured.
They're kind of stomping them. Not going to lie. Like, you're playing with a stand-in and you're playing like the major winners. Who's on this line over towards the cheater side.
He's looking for more, and he's getting it 23-5. What a monster half this has been from the AWPer on ENCE.
As FaZe respond now after losing that first pick. They've thrown a couple of smokes over here towards B ramp, trying to get some more space.
Snax is looking for a timing, and he might just get it as well. Util in hand for those couple of FaZe members. Shot's not going to connect, and Snax tucks himself in the corner. Has he got any backup? Does he even need any backup? Getting that first, and of course, Hades, you know, he's there. He's everywhere on this map at the moment. Rops on 20 HP, has only 3 players to deal with. And I say only 3 because it is Rops. Every chance he could pull it off, but he runs into Hades, 25. Who is just an absolute freight train in the first half of this map. 25 frags, 5 deaths. What a KD that is, and ENCE 11-4. Maybe they can push us through to map 3. how the tables turn. 11-4 the scoreline. ENCE, they pick up a lot of rounds on their CT side after dropping map 1 to FAZE. But Pilski, it is ancient. It's a CT-sided map, and 25 frags from Hades. I'm not sure that we're expecting to see the same kind of thing here in the second half, and if that starts to fall off a little bit, is there enough in the back pocket for ENCE to win this map, or can FAZE make a huge comeback? We'll find out how the pistol round plays out. It'll be a big deal.
Yeah, quick one straight up through cave into the B site here. Two Smoke's going to block off the vision of these CTs who are just looking for spam kills on the planter.
They're getting a bit of damage done. A couple of tags onto Dychą. Hades as well, copping some. Rotations come across from FAZE, and Rops is still working his way into mid. But in the meanwhile, the plant has gone down. The post-plant positions have now been secured for ENCE. When it comes down to how FAZE goes about this retake. They're going to have to do it with 4. Twists having already dropped, and Rain looking to clear out a bunch of angles. He spots Snax, boosts it up, deals with him comfortably, and it's now a 3-on-3. But Rops, the danger lurking behind, will be able to strike onto Madden. Snappy's in a good spot to clutch this round out, though. Carrigan has to sit that defuse. He's got a kit. Rops loses a lot of HP, but hits the head. And FAZE win the all-important pistol.
Yeah, we got a game on our hands, for sure. Plant comes in for ENCE, though, so that's really going to tempt them into a force in the second round here. Maybe some AKs being half. Try to reset FAZE's money nice and early on. Would put them in pole position to clean up Ancient pretty quickly and concisely. No util here for ENCE. 3 smokes and a nade. Already one of them being burned to try to get some control of Cheetah here. Not too much nuance about this round for ENCE. This is going to be a split pick kind of round, some dry contact kind of approaches. It's all about the timings. Where are these MP9s at? Carrigan's on B. Twist is in mid. So MP9 against Galil at this range is a good opportunity for ENCE.
Yeah, but Rops is also kind of lurking. You do have a bit of assistance maybe coming through from Rain as well into mid. Twists. That gap is kind of starting to close, and Snax is pretty close by. Twist has bided his time nicely. He'll spot Dychą first. A double kill with the MP9. That's illegal. And Rops and Brokey chime in with 1 apiece as well.
Yeah, great crossfire. 2 players in towards Donut side. Twist plays that absolutely perfectly. A lot of damage into some of these players, but this is sometimes Galil life, man. Can't quite finish off the frags, and FAZE looking to close down a pretty quick round here. 40 seconds on the clock. Bombs dropped on top of the box in middle. Spotted by Carrigan.
Galil. That nade did a lot less damage than I thought it would.
Yeah, a bit more grease on that one, I reckon. Elbow grease, that is.
Oh, and another
The
kill
shadow
goes the way of the
advantage,
MP9.
yeah.
So more cash in the back pocket for FAZE. Looks like, again, it'll be mid-control that is going to be the battle in this half. FAZE are looking to send a lot of forces in that direction, put a lot of util down there. Even if ENCE hasn't put a whole lot of money into this round, they're also sending forces in that direction. Not going to work out for them, though. Oh, Snax again. Here we go, Pilski. He might get another one!
Ooh, let's go.
The Zeus. 2 from 2. And this one actually feels as though it might be a little more impactful than the last.
Yeah, he's got a A1S. Boost him up somewhere. Yeah, chuck him up on a cheeky little angle.
Snappy. Unfortunately not able to do too much. Rain really looks to have found a good timing there as he catches a couple of those ENCE players with their pants down.
It's actually, if they wait a little longer to get these kills, yeah, Robs can come in on the flank with the MP9 and then go pick him up with the rifle. That's great team play from FAZE as well, dropping him over the gun. So FAZE only lose an MP9 out of that round and 1 set of armor. Yep. Really solid anti-eco.
Last round they only lost an MP9 as well.
Yeah, they're going to build up a lot of cash here.
What I sound like when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Especially
Okay.
these days.
First gun round. Getting old, Jordan. Getting old.
Big one for ENCE. They'll try to contest in toward middle. FaZe have been putting a lot of resources there, but it's not working this time. Guns in hand, the AKs make the difference, and FaZe now really relying on Rops to bring up the goods, and that is it! Hold down the spray with the Khalil, headshots to boot, and FaZe are back in the driver's seat, even despite the fact the bomb has gone down.
Madden, got to do a lot of work in from this donut position here. Another smoke thrown on the right side. Snax going to try and take an early duel in towards Temple here, but good spacing from Rain. Madden now 1v2. Has he got the right timing here? Rops, what a bloody performance in that round. The pre-fire on the second player into a double dink on that Khalil saves the round from FaZe.
Not so Galal anymore, is it, Pilski?
Godlil.
It's Gapog.
I think mine was a little bit better, just a little bit.
What do you mean? I'll tell you which one is going to get spammed more in the chat. Okay. And it's definitely Gapog.
No, it's not.
It is.
Godlil.
No, it's Gapog. Everyone's going to be spamming it.
That's such a weird... why would you even come up with that? Either way, look, ENCE on another buy here. Full loss bonus, bomb plants. We know how that all goes these days. Great money built up by FaZe, though. Look at this. Plenty of cash in the bank for them to continue to try to fight for this half. That last round was unreasonable. They had no business winning that one. Duel towards Cheetah's side. Rain finds that first pick. Pressure on ENCE now. Twist has got full control of the middle, and he's tapping heads.
Yeah, the game is shifting, isn't it? CT side, what a difference it makes, and FaZe, they are rampaging through this half at the moment. Dychą and Snax. The last semblances of hope for ENCE in this round.
I wonder if they're talking Polish right now.
Probably. Why not? Dychą has progressed pretty nicely up into the B bomb site, but no one's really watching for that peek from Brokey, and that'll be a freebie 1-for-1. That's enough, especially considering Rain is still hanging around. He knows where Dychą is, and you've got that wrap. This time it's from Twists, not from Rops, but it's the same position, and there's nowhere really for Dychą to go. Rain, wide swing, gets the better of him, and that gap really is starting to close now.
Yeah, no plant. It's going to make it much harder for ENCE to put a buy together here. It's probably back down to another half buy. Just a lack of a T side again, unfortunately, is what it comes down to, really.
Is it going to be a Galal for Snappy or a Gapog for Snappy?
Stop trying to make the Pog a thing. It's not a thing.
It is a thing, I'm telling you. This isn't Mean Girls, Pilski. Snax progresses fast up into mid, and ENCE are doing much the same over toward the A bomb site. Rops, he is holding strong. However, Brokey has gone down, so it is kind of on to Rops. Nice spray transfer, catches Hades in the head, but it is starting to be a bit of an expensive round for FaZe.
Doesn't matter. They've got plenty of cash, bro. It's FaZe Clan, Jordan. They're millionaires.
Yeah? Their bank account looking about as good as Johnny Depp's at the moment. Tack timeout for ENCE. Still got quite a few to play with, and definitely still a lot of rounds, a lot of legs left in this half, but obviously ENCE are going to know that this is them teetering on the precipice now of losing the series. They dropped map 1. FaZe is looking like they're going to be able to push hard on the CT side of Ancient, and they're searching for a 2-0 right now.
Splish splash. I agree. See what ENCE are going to go for here. Brokey on the AWP. Looking like a bit of control up towards ramp side. They've thrown that lurk smoke to try to find this entry here early on. Ooh, Rangers goes straight through it. Nice opener for Madden. Snappy gets a pick on these players, trying to crunch from Cheetah as well.
Again and again, just trades, early exchanges. ENCE trying to take control of halls, but unable to do so.
Weird timings. Rops is still on this mid line. He can go for a late flank through mid here. Brokey giving up that A side of the map. Lot of pressure on Twist now on left side of Cheetah. If he goes down here, that might just be the round. He's all over it, though.
Twists. He's not missing a beat. Can he get Hades as well? No. The timing didn't work out for him. 1 minute left. But Brokey has an AWP. He's on the site. He's holding strong, and Rops is hanging around. It'll be a fast rotate.
Patience being shown by ENCE right now. The bottom of B ramp. Rops not wanting to flank until they make contact with Brokey.
No way. They've pushed him off the line, and then Snax has just deleted him. It's like the pistol round all over again, but Rops can deny the bomb plant. Got 11 bullets left. He won't opt to spam through. It's a good decision, but Snax a masterstroke.
Yeah.
Sneaks through the smoke, and he's on his way to A.
He can't make any noise, though, for a lot of this.
He'll get there.
Yeah, Rops not moving at all.
But
Starting
what's
to
happening
suspect.
in Rops' mind? Are the wheels starting to turn? The
Yeah.
cogs.
What's this post plant for Snax? All right, he's planting for Temple and CT.